yadarchimadyadανubhyo nucha yasmin loka nihita lokinascha tade tadaksharam brahma sapranastadu vangmanaha tade tat satyam tadamrutam tadvedhavyam so om yavidhi yadarchimadyadανubhyo nucha yasmin loka nihita lokinascha tade tadaksharam brahma sapranastadu vangmanaha tade tat satyam tadamrutam tadvedhavyam so om yavidhi. That which is luminous, archimat, tat, yet means that which is archimat, yet anubhyaha, anuhu, subtler than the subtle, that in which are fixed the worlds and their inhabitants, their dwellers, the inhabitants, the worlds reside in it, that which is the imperishable Brahman. Tade tadaksharam Brahma, aksharam Brahma. So you will get tired of these words. Unless and until you make sense of it, unless until you relate to it, you will get tired of it. This is where the real quality of a sadhak is tested. You are really tested here. The translation is that is prana, vital air. That alone is speech, mind, truth, satyam, immortality. That should be known. Tade tat satyam tadamrutam tadvedhavyam somya vidhi. No, vidhi means no. Vedhavyam should be known. Nothing else is worth to be known. This alone should be known. O handsome one, O smart seeker, O smart human being. Handsome is that handsome does. Are your actions good enough that your teacher is impressed of you? Even in our own, in any curriculum, any activity, don't we see that when you excel, when you give your best, the teacher gets impressed? Like it could be in your school, it could be extracurricular activities or your sport or art or literature, whatever you do. So the Guru is so impressed of your commitment. So he keeps saying, oh, handsome one. So he's so impressed that there's that affinity between the teacher and the student. He loves the student. I also have students. I'm thinking, whom should I call handsome one? Ushama? UK and US. UK is always glowing. I'm very envious at the chair you said. See, so much light I'm putting around me, there's no glow. What is this UK? You steal the show.
It was because of the courtesy of the Surya Deva.
See, sun is everywhere, but only reflects on certain people, no?
No. Nothing like that.
So for today, I will call you a handsome one. It is that inner glow. It is the, what is it that a teacher is impressed in? What is it a teacher looks in a student? Obviously, the student here is so well tuned into the message of the Guru that he keeps on saying. Somya Vidhi. So consciousness is that which illumines, which is luminous. Luminous means that which illumines. What does the consciousness illumine? The consciousness illumines your perceptions. Consciousness illumines your emotions. Consciousness illumines your thoughts. Means without the consciousness, you can't perceive. Without the consciousness, you can't feel. Without the consciousness, you can't think. So while you're perceiving, while you are feeling, while you are thinking, how can you not be mindful of that which enables me to perceive, feel, and think? Is like a child who is being provided by the parents or the guardian. Can the child be unmindful of the providence that is facilitating the education, upbringing, shelter, food, care, and concern provided for? If the child is unmindful of that, what do you call that person? US? What do you call such a person?
Ignorant.
Oh, only ignorant.
He's ignorant of.
No, I'm saying you provide for your child.
Mm.
You give everything. You sacrifice so much for the child, and the child is unmindful of what it's given, what it
Ungrateful.
receives.
Yeah.
Ungrateful. Yes, Shivaji says ungrateful. Do you feel, what would you feel if someone whom you have nurtured, nourished, provided for, and is ungrateful to you? Not worthy.
Good.
Not worthy, isn't it? Unworthy. Now imagine if I am not mindful of the consciousness which is responsible for my very existence. Every time I blinked an eye, every time I uttered a speech, every perception, every action I performed, I am not mindful of the consciousness which is enabling it to happen. And if I'm not grateful of that, this janma, this birth, is not worthy of living, because I'm ungrateful to the very source. I'm unmindful of the very source which has enabled it to happen. See, again, there's something which you have. I'm struggling to inject that feeling here. It's not the concept. It's very easy to say consciousness enables your body to perceive, enables your organs of action to act, enables your mind to feel, enables your intellect to think. Done, finished, done. That's all. What more? There's nothing more to understand. But that feeling is something so difficult to convey. So the feeling of if somebody has been ungrateful to you, what should be that? What's the attitude? Man, it's not worthy, man. Why? What is it? Something is not right. That discomfort feeling you get. Exactly that kind of one who is not attuned to the Shastras, attuned to this philosophy which is being conveyed, of the consciousness which is responsible. Such a person is not a handsome one. Exactly the opposite. So you should be ever mindful of the consciousness. So he says it is the luminous. I'm trying to find ways and means to convey this. Not easy. Subtler than the subtle. Anubhya anuhu. It only means straightforward definition. Anubhya anuhu means it is sukshmaha. Sukshmat sukshmaha. It is subtler than the subtle. Now, what is the subtlest thing that you know? Or you have knowledge of? What is the subtlest that you know? Amitama, what is the subtlest that you know?
Hi, Hari Om Guruji. The subtlest is consciousness.
You know, is it?
Um, no, yeah.
Huh? Which side of the
It's-
bed you got up from? Something is not right this morning.
oh,
Or may-
okay.
Or you're also speaking like an Upanishadic master. Confusing us. Yes or no? What is the subtlest that you know?
So this is having knowledge of, right? Subtlest that you know, right?
Yeah, which you experience.
Yeah, which you
Yeah.
experience, which you're
See,
aware of, which you.
Correct. See, you must understand the scriptures are trying to describe something that we do not know. And the describing that you do not know with your. It's like, say, if I were to say this pencil, if I were to show you this pencil, well, the one I have is better than what you have. Unless or until I compare it with what you have or you know, how can I define what you do not know? I'm not able to show it to you, but I'm describing it of something which you do not know. I'm conveying that knowledge to you. So the Shastras are trying to convey knowledge of something that you do not know through what you know. This is the principle of moving from known to the unknown. Underlying principles they don't violate. Impossible to convey knowledge of something unknown without known factors. So when they say it is subtler than the subtle, see, it is easy for them to say it is the subtlest. The same thing, no? It is the subtlest. Or to say subtler than the subtle. In English language, both convey the same thing, but the methodology is different. When I say subtler than the subtle, they're comparing to something that is known to you. So what is it, the subtlest that you know? And they say it is subtler than that. I'm still with you. What is it that you know, which is subtle? Okay, now, if you can categorize that which you know as tangible and intangible, start describing what is tangible that you know around you.
Well, the physical, what shall I say? Whatever is there in my physical environment is the tangible, right?
Inert objects,
The innate objects, yes.
the things around you,
Mhm.
innate objects. These are tangible. Now, what is intangible?
Intangible would be things like consciousness, immortality.
No. Don't
no?
again. You're going too far
Beyond.
ahead.
Okay.
They're saying consciousness is subtler than the subtle. Now, what we are trying to take a step slowly towards it.
Okay.
Gross, subtle, subtler, subtlest.
Subtlest. Okay.
If I were to put it in a simple English language, superlative language, gross, subtler, subtle, gross, subtle, subtler, subtlest.
Subtlest. Okay. Okay.
Now your consciousness is the subtlest. Now don't go there. Now you said gross. Gross is tangible. Now what is subtle? Subtle is intangible. Now in the subtle, there are. Now, let me make it easier for you all.
So, sir, can I say things like if the gross is wealth, then the subtler is greed, possessiveness? Can I say that?
You're being very specific. No, you can certainly say that.
Okay.
You can certainly say that. But what we are trying to say is categorize it as, if you categorize as gross, subtle, subtler, subtlest. Am I right, Amitama?
Yes, sir.
So we are saying gross as, sorry.
Terrestrial. Tangible.
Gross as anything that is tangible. Tangible we said as inert objects. Am I right?
Yes.
Now, On other side, there are all of this are intangible. Now, in the order of subtlety, what are the things which are intangible to you? Obviously, it's not gross.
Mm.
It can't be gross. So what could be the intangible category? What's the first? Subtler than inert objects. Gayatri has gone up to space and air. Situji says elements.
Emotions, thoughts.
You go subtler than the gross body.
Mhm.
In fact, under inert objects, this is what is known as gross matter.
Yeah.
Intangible forms. Okay, let me not put it there. I will put it subtle matter. Now, subtle matter constitutes of, as you said, first is
Thoughts, emotions, feelings.
emotions. Subtler than emotions are thoughts, isn't it?
Yep, yep.
Hmm?
Mhm.
Now, what is subtler than thoughts?
Consciousness.
Why are you jumping?
Okay.
I'm not yet come to subtlest. I'm only still subtler. Subtle is
Subtler.
emotions and thoughts. Subtler. What is subtler?
Perception.
No, how can you say perception?
Thoughts.
Perception is already covered under your perceiving gross matter, no? All right. Okay, Amitama. What is Gayatri Ma? What is subtler than the subtle?
It's vasanas.
So you can say vasanas. What else is subtle? Setuji?
Causal body, but that is
Causal,
vasanas.
causal body is vasanas. No?
Vasanas.
Okay, Arunama. Yes, ma.
Intellect, Guruji? Hari Om, Guru.
Hariam. Yes, ma. I see thoughts are the realm of intellect, aren't they?
I thought, what about, I mean, like we divide it into mind and intellect, isn't it? So
Yeah,
emotions. So
emotions are the realm of mind. So you can say this is the mind. That intellect are thoughts.
okay.
Now, in fact, vasanas and this both are subtle matter. Isn't it?
Yeah, that's Guruji.
Now, vasanas, in fact, is the subtlest of what we know. Isn't it?
Can we say deep sleep?
Again, vasanas. Deep sleep is also vasanas only. No? So just to give us a line of thought, now you can start saying we don't see in the Atma Bodha, don't we, when we learn that everything is constituted of the five elements, space, air, fire, water, earth, and they go through the Panchikarana. So they are subtle elements, they are gross elements. So subtle elements constitute to form subtle matter, gross elements to form gross matter. We've learned that elsewhere in Atma Bodha. So you can say the intangible is also, you can say somewhere we can mention it that they are the five elements, not perceive. What fire you perceive is gross fire, is tangible. I'm talking of subtle elements. So now to explain the concept, which is Anubhya Anuhu, they're saying consciousness. So consciousness is the subtlest. So rather than saying it is the subtlest, they are only taking the line of thought. All this is known and subtlest, which is unknown. This is the methodology that they're adopting. So to convey the knowledge of the unknown, they are taking knowledge of the known. Nowadays, nobody teaches this. You go out, you don't find this kind of scientific methodology taught. It's not taught anywhere. So we have to bow down to this, to these gurus who conceived it, who preserved it, who captured it in a scientific way. There is all far from it. Okay. I hope you all have captured it. So when you say Anubhya, Anuhu, subtler than the subtlest, this is what they're saying. It also can be construed as something which is all pervading. That in which are fixed the worlds and their inhabitants or dwellers. Which means which houses the where we are all in, isn't it? That is this imperishable Brahman. So whatever he has described, the luminous, subtler than the subtle, that is this. So that imperishable Brahman is the individual. This means the individual. That is the imperishable Brahman. When he says that is this, he's referring to how the macrocosm, means rather how the Brahman pervades in the microcosm. Disregard the word macrocosm, how the Brahman pervades the microcosm. Permeates, pervades the microcosm. And then he again describes the microcosm. In case you have not heard it, if you have switched off, he doesn't take anything for granted, keeps on repeating it. What is repeating? That is prana, that is vital air, that is organs of speech, that is the mind, means the intellect. This is it. The word satyam here refers to your inherent vasanas, your swadharma. At a relative level, you have to be true to your vasanas, isn't it? I have to be true to my nature, so you have to be true to your nature, which is your vasanas. Immortality refers to the Atman, the self. That should be known. Tadetat satyam tadamrutam tadvedhavyam so om yavidhi. The last line. Tadetat satyam, that alone is the truth. Tad amrutam, that is immortality. That vedhavyam, that should be known. Somya vidhi, oh handsome one, know it. If you just literally read, just chant that last section, it's so inspiring. Tade tat satyam, tadamritam, tad vedhavyam, so om ya vidhi. So you just keep chanting this whenever you are to yourself. Tade tat satyam, tadamritam, tad vedhavyam, so om ya vidhi. Tade tat satyam, that alone is the truth. In a relative level, we are interpreting satyam as your vasana, speak true to your nature. Vedhavyam should be known. You better know it, Vidhi, know it, O handsome one. He's saying so many times because you're not doing it, no? Understood. You have to get the feeling and the pulse. If somebody is saying something so many times, means you're not following it. Would you repeat? Would you say something to your child if he's following it? If the child is disciplined, you would not say study, be disciplined. If the child has got 95, 96% marks, you will not tell the child, why are you performing, underperforming? He has given his best. You'll celebrate the occasion. You will not complain or grumble. You'll have no qualms about the child's studies. The child is doing well. Now, why is the guru repeating? Why is the text going on? Why is it repetitive? Because student is not following. Student are understood. So he's repeating it to ensure it gets into you. And this is known as, what is this known as? Whatever he's doing, what is the guru doing for us? What is this known as? Because only perhaps when you understand the reason, maybe you'll appreciate why the guru is doing this. The guru is repeating it again and again. This is known as forced reflection. When the guru repeats it to you, it is forcing you to reflect. When you study on your own, it is known as Svadhyaya, it's one's own reflection. When the guru does it to you, it is forcing you to reflect. So that, what is manana? Manana is nothing but repetition of a thought. Repetition of a thought. It is not a mechanical chant. Some people keep chanting. For example, when you go to certain temples, so there is a constant chorus you hear. If it is a Balaji temple, is Lord Venkateshwara temple, you keep hearing a chant of the name of the Lord. If you're chanting Lord Rama, it's just a mere chant. In the same spirit, the thoughts are being reiterated so that they go and get embedded in your mind. Hopefully, that is the hope. Remember, I'm still searching for the title to be given handsome one. So I have not forgotten. Title to be taken, yet to be conferred. Mantras 3 and 4. Dhanurgruhitva Upanishadam Mahastram Sharam Hyupasa Nishitam Sandhayita Ayam Yatad Bhavagatena Chetasa Laksham Tadevaksharam So Om Yavidhi Pranavo Dhanusharo Hyatma Brahmatallaksha Muchyate Apramattena Vedhavyam Sharavattanmayo Bhavet. 3 again, please. Dhanurgruhitva Upanishadam Mahastram Sharam Hyupasa Nishitam Sandhayita Ayam Yatad Bhavagatena Chetasa Laksham Tadevaksharam So Om Yavidhi Pranavo dhanusharo hyatma brahmatalaksha muchyate apramattena vedhavyam sharavattanmayo bhave. Just close this page, just to that point which I said earlier, that why when these thoughts are being repeated, the real sadhak will never get into a boredom with these texts. A real sadhak will never get fatigued with these terminologies or these concepts. So it is this, when a guru repeats it, or when these thoughts are reiterated when you come to these satsangs, if you feel that you are getting fatigued or there's a boredom sets in, obviously there is that caliber of the guru. The guru is a dull head, dumb head fellow, doesn't know how to capture the audience, then you give some credit to the guru. Considering the guru is doing a decent job in conveying the text, it is a possibility that the student will get boredom, tired, and whenever you get bored, what do? You switch to activity. So what many people in the spiritual field, what they do is they have a spiritual buffet of gurus. So they keep switching from one guru to other to get themselves that little extra spice. Oh, you must learn from everybody, no? You can learn from everybody. Will you go and consult 10 doctors to treat the same disease? You may do survey, but after that, only follow one doctor. You don't follow 10 doctors to treat the same disease. Your disease is avidya. You've got to take one source of knowledge and take it to the end. You can't keep taking bits and pieces from here and there. One shouldn't do that. My question is, when does the subject matter become boring to you? It's possible, and I've seen so many students in the journey of being associated. They in fact come and tell me, Guruji, I find the ideas repetitive. I'm repeating because the guru is repeating the text. What do I do? In fact, the third and the fourth verse, you have not mantra, you've not heard anywhere. It's very unique to this text. It's a very famous Upanishad, example from this Upanishad. But why does that? When does a text become boring, boredom, repetitive? And the jigsaw puzzle is not solved. Jigsaw until realization. None of us are realized. You mean to say none of us will be find interesting in the study? Jigsaw is the very end. When we don't understand the depth of the knowledge, all right? When manana is not done, when a sadhak doesn't do his self-study, when you don't put in your effort, you find the knowledge becomes drag, boredom. I don't know how many of you are experiencing it, to what extent you experience it. As a guru, if I don't do my swadhyaya, for me it is boredom. If I have to come and teach to you, it's understood I have to do my swadhyaya. You want to come and get inspired, it's understood you have to do swadhyaya. I can't do it for you, you can't do it for me, but you've got to do it yourself. So the essence what we're trying to say is to get into these essential, to draw the essence out of these concepts. It's essential that you do your swadhyaya. If you do not do it, the knowledge will be bland. Imagine eating without salt and spice, bland. Hospital food. All of us at some stage of our lives, we have been to the hospital for some treatment. And in the hospital, they give you no salt, no spice, no this, no that. This is all healthy thing for you. You say, yo, I want to have home food. I want to go back home, sick and tired. And the mother feeling you will get. If you're getting that, that means something wrong with you. Nothing wrong with the text, nothing wrong with the guru. If you are looking at complaining at the guru, think of Ekalavya. He learned from a statue. Mind you, he learned from a dead guru. If a guru is talking to you and it doesn't make sense to you, you are finding boredom, something wrong with you, not with the guru. You may find excuse to blame the guru. Please do so. That is your liberty. But understand, nothing wrong with the guru. It is for you to do that sadhana. So if we intensify, one is to do it, intensifying it. The real benefit comes when you do it consistently. If you once in a week, you get up and study, it is no use. The real benefit of anything is to do it consistently. The least goal you can have for all of you can put a pitch up is for the next 10 days, what come may, I will get up at 4 o'clock and study. What come may. I may be having a weekend wedding to function. I may be traveling. I may be doing many things, but I will try to give myself that experience and give yourself for 10 days minimum for you to just get into the feel of it. I'm sure you all have felt it, but I am certain what is a challenge all of you facing is the consistency. You're not consistently keeping on to it. Give yourself that commitment and experience it. Once you've got a hang and taste of it, trust me, there's nothing more as sweet as that experience. That will help you to justify and understand why is the repetition and why I'm not able to understand the depth. That is the real crux of a sadhak. You should do that. I can't do it. Sadly, I can't do it for you. All I can appeal to you is do it. Otherwise, you are the loser.